Russian attack still a possibility, President Biden.
We have not yet verified the Russian military units are returning to their home bases. Indeed, our analysts indicate that they remain very much in a threatening position. World War II was a war of necessity. But if Russia attacks Ukraine, it would be a war of choice. The United States will defend every inch of NATO territory with the full force of American power. An attack against one NATO country is an attack against all of us. The United States and our allies and partners around the world are ready to impose powerful sanctions on export controls, including actions that we did not pursue when Russia invaded Crimea in eastern Ukraine in 2014. If Russia decides to invade, that would also have consequences here at home. But the American people understand that defending democracy and liberty is never without cost. There could be impact on our energy prices. We do not stand for freedom. Where it is at risk today, will surely pay a steeper price tomorrow.
A Russian attack on Ukraine remains very much a possibility, but the human cost would be immense, US President Joe Biden has said. In remarks televised nationally, he said the US was ready to respond decisively to such a move. The US president said Russia had now massed some 150,000 troops on the border with Ukraine. Russia's defense minister has said some forces have withdrawn. Mr. Biden said that this had not been verified. Russian forces leaving would be good, but we have not yet verified that. We have not yet verified the Russian military units are returning to their home bases, the US president said. Indeed, our analysts indicate that they remain very much in a threatening position. Mr. Biden's speech came hours after Russian President Vladimir Putin said Moscow's security concerns should be addressed and taken seriously. Mr. Putin has always denied he is planning an incursion, and said Russia did not want another war in Europe. However, tensions have been rising since November. Russia has deep cultural and historic ties with Ukraine, which is a former Soviet republic. Mr. Putin wants assurances that it will not join the Western NATO military alliance because he sees any expansion of it as a threat to Russia. NATO has rejected that demand. Mr. Biden said he agreed with a proposal by the Russian government to continue diplomacy. The US president also warned the American economy could suffer from disruption to energy supply and price hikes in the likely event that sanctions were levied on Russia in response to any invasion of Ukraine. The American people understand that defending democracy and liberty is never without cost, the US president said. I will not pretend this will be painless. He said the administration was working on contingency plans with energy producers and shippers to avert potential supply issues. Mr. Biden warned the proposed Russian Nord Stream 2 natural gas pipeline to Europe will not happen if a Ukraine invasion goes ahead. The US president continued, to the citizens of Russia, you are not our enemy, and I don't believe you want a bloody, destructive war against Ukraine. NATO expressed cautious optimism on Tuesday about the Russian military's announcement that it had pulled back some of its troops from the border with Ukraine. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken told his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov in a call that the US needed to see verifiable, credible, meaningful de-escalation. Earlier, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson tweeted that there were mixed signals coming from Russia, because UK intelligence showed Russian field hospitals were being built near the border, which could only be construed as a preparation for an invasion.